Hey everybody, I'm John Granada. It's Josh Jordan. You can hear us on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. You can also see Josh's work at sportsmaphouston.com. Hit subscribe if you haven't yet so you get all of our content here at SportsMap HOU. Hey, Jim Crane is famously not afraid to move away from big-ticket players. We've seen it just about every year. They lose one of the best players in baseball. So far, we've seen what Hunter Brown has done. We see Justin Verlander not making a start yet. He's just sitting there. What are the chances Brown finishes with a better season than JV?
If you would have asked me this, before the season, I wouldn't have given it much of a chance. But the way Hunter Brown's pitching, he could win Rookie of the Year if this continues. He has been phenomenal, has the best ERA amongst the starters behind Fromber. I think there's a legit shot. Now, Verlander is on Friday, I believe, supposed to do a rehab start, but the head start Hunter Brown has, he might finish with the better year.
He's got the second best ERA of the starters so far this year. He looks fantastic. McCullers is going to come back. How can you take Hunter Brown out of this rotation right now?
You can't. There's no way around it. And Dusty said before the season started that, or maybe it was Dana Brown, that Hunter Brown wasn't necessarily the fifth or sixth starter. That they saw this potential in him, and he's delivering on what they thought could happen. So to me, it's got to be, Garcia or Urquidy, depending on who's pitching better at the time, or maybe they want to go to a six-man rotation. Either way, it's a good problem to have.
Well, last year he forgot totally about Urquidy, and he didn't see him at all in the postseason. And the way that Urquidy has pitched so far this season, he would certainly look to be the odd man out, or at least headed to the bullpen. But that's so hard to take a Jose Urquidy out of this rotation. What about a six-man rotation?
I'd be okay with it. We've seen it work before, and especially when McCullers is back, you don't want him pitching every 5 days. You want him ready to go for the postseason. So I'm okay with the six-man rotation. I think it'll be, we saw last year, right, how the schedule plays out, how the off days go. You don't want guys only pitching once a week necessarily. So I think Dusty will manage it right. I'm not worried. I think the playoff rotation is what interests me, because if the playoffs started today, I'd have it Fromber, Javier, Hunter Brown, and then maybe McCullers if he's back. Those would be kind of the four that I would go to battle with.
The last we saw of McCullers, he was getting lit up by Philadelphia, though, in the postseason. I'm not sure the last two starts by Garcia that he wouldn't be that fourth starter the way he is. Listen, there's a lot of time before the playoffs.
Sure.
McCullers has got a lot to prove. He's got that big contract for $17 million a year. You've got 4 years left on that deal. He's got to come back, and he's got to be strong, and he's got to show that he can handle, because otherwise you are not going to throw him out there when the other guys are throwing so well.
No, but Dusty, he likes his veterans. He likes, McCullers has World Series experience. He leans into that. He's one of the leaders on the team. So if he's right, and Garcia, I'm a big fan. Now his ERA quickly, he's at like a 4 flat now ERA, how quickly it can change. But I think it'll be McCullers if he's good to go, but it could be Garcia. I'd be fine with that. It seems like Urquidy's just kind of your regular season pitcher where, he gives you a chance every day, but this rotation's so stacked. I don't know if there's an opportunity for him in the postseason.
And look, we're assuming Hunter Brown is in it, but Dusty, the way he handles veterans and the way he handles young guys is totally different. Don't forget, Javier was not a full-time starter. The thought was Javier's going back to the bullpen last year. Javier's going back to the bullpen. Now he's the number 2 starter. But it took a while for Dusty to have that kind of faith in him. And it might be that same thing with Hunter Brown, despite how well he's pitching.
That's certainly a possibility. But, man, if he's pitching like this at the end of the year, the eye test just tells you, man, he was so nasty against the Rays. I'm hitching my wagon to that guy.